Alright, here's my list of top 10 humans of all time. So let's just get into it. So number one, I've got Markiplier.
Hello, everybody. My name is Welcome.
Now this guy's life is genuinely goated, right? He started off as just a dude and he was just playing games, literally webcam and a computer and that's it. And now he's making freaking directing movies by himself, starring in it by himself and funding it by himself. And it got into the cinemas. That's insane work, man. That's literally insane work. Also, of course, he beat FNAF 1 on 2020 mode. Also insane work.
Oh my god! Oh!
And also, he's kind of chill, like, he'd always be like, thank you for subscribing, and, he would cry sometimes. He's a genuine guy. I respect that. Next up, I'm gonna say Luke from Outdoor Boys. This is another YouTuber.
I got a sweet potato and a little bit of tinfoil here.
But man, isn't he such a good guy and such a good dad? It's like when you don't have a dad, you can just watch him and then you can go camping with him. Isn't it so wholesome and sweet? He's a good husband, he's a good dad, he's always looking after his kids. And man, he's teaching me how to survive in the Arctic if I'm ever there. What if I get kidnapped by the cartel and then they drop me off in the Arctic tundra? Because I watched Outdoor Boys, I'm gonna start a fire and you gotta build the tent and get some warm honey butter.
Fresh warm bread and honey butter.
He's teaching the kids how to be smart in the outdoors. I respect that. I personally am not going to eat the stuff he finds, like snakes and bugs. That's all him. But he's a really genuine, kind-hearted guy. I think the world's better for having him. Next up on my list, I've got Masako Nozawa, the Japanese voice actor for Son Goku. So she's been the voice actor for like 40 years, I think. She's getting older, but she's still the voice actor for that. She's still screaming her lungs out whenever he goes Super Saiyan. I really respect that. And it's so sweet that one of the strongest characters of all time is voiced by a grandma. Isn't that, so wholesome? Next up, I'm gonna say Bruce Lee. When I was 15 or 14 and I watched Bruce Lee, my life changed. I thought I was him. Like, Bruce Lee is the reason I did push-ups on my knees because I couldn't do full push-ups, but man, that guy changed my life. I signed up to karate. I would research his training regimes, even though they were completely insane and I couldn't do them at all. And he inspired me to be like him. Yeah, he's just real cool. A shame that he died so young. Rest in peace to him. But yeah, I watched all of his movies. Man, he was so cool. Next on my list, Next on my list, we've got Bill Finger, the creator of Batman. If you don't know who Bill Finger is, he was the real creator of Batman, but originally Bob Kane was credited as the creator of Batman, but there's a bit more to that story. So Bob Kane came up with the name and just drew some dude in like a red suit, and he told Bill Finger, yo, I got an idea for a superhero. What do you think? And he was like, yeah, that's really cool. Batman, that's a cool name. So that was pretty much Bob Kane's contribution to the character. Pretty much the name, and that he was a human. And then Bill Finger came up with the costume design, the backstory, who Bruce Wayne was. Pretty much everything about Batman was because of Bill Finger. And he was uncredited pretty much his entire life. But Batman as a character means so much to so many people. Him writing about Batman while being uncredited is kind of a parallel to Batman as a character. Batman saves people, but they don't know who he is. They don't know who Bruce Wayne is. And the people didn't know who Bill Finger is. Isn't that such a good parallel to the character? And he wasn't doing this for money or fame. He was doing this because Batman was his child. Like, Batman meant something to him. And it means something to me too. So I respect you, Bill Finger, for doing that because you didn't care about the money. You cared about the people and the story. I really respect you for that, man. Rest in peace to Bill Finger as well. And Bob Kane, mate, honestly, man, you're not on the list. Next up, I got Takahiko Inoue. He created Vagabond. He created Slam Dunk. I've read all of Vagabond and I've read all of Slam Dunk, and man, there's such good stories. And he put Vagabond on hiatus because he said it was taking an extreme mental and physical toll on his body. I was like, that's okay, man. Don't worry about the manga. Just live. It's okay. You don't have to kill yourself over the manga. But Slam Dunk and Vagabond, they're such amazing mangas. The artwork for Vagabond is insane, and the story is so good. Another thing that I respect about those two mangas is that there's no like ecchi hentai stuff, because that's such a common thing in anime and I don't like it. It's weird, but you know, he has respect for his art and takes it seriously, so shout out to him. Next person on this list is my grandpa. I'll be honest, he was mad chill. You know, he was like chill vibes. He was laid back. He kept to himself, but he was a good man. So shout out to him. Next up, I got John Cena. I really love John Cena, not because he was a wrestler, but because
早上好，中国！现在我有冰淇淋，我很喜欢冰淇淋。
of who he is now. Like, if you've seen some of his interviews, he talks about how he's like, oh, I was a wrestler, I was an entertainer, but now I'm just a person like everyone else. I really like that he's so humble and down to earth, and all the, you know, charity stuff he does for the kids, like visiting the sick kids in hospital. Man, what a good guy. I love that guy. I love him, man. He's such a real one. And he's also a peacemaker. Have you watched that show? Next up, we've got John Brown. John Brown was an American abolitionist in the decades preceding the Civil War, first reaching national prominence in the 1850s for his radical abolitionism fighting in Bleeding, Kansas. Brown was captured, tried, and executed for the Commonwealth of Virginia for raid and incitement of a slave rebellion at Harper's Ferry, Virginia in 1859. Did you know that? So pretty much John Brown wanted to free the slaves, and I think he just like killed a bunch of people. Wait, what did he do? Bro, I don't even know. So pretty much John Brown was like, nah, this is toxic. We're gonna free the slaves. And he killed a couple of slave owners to end slavery. Bro, have you ever thought like, oh, if I was in World War II, I would have stopped them. But in reality, you're probably just gonna mind your own business. John Brown was really about that. He was like, nah, this is racist, this is toxic, we're ending this. And he took matters into his own hands. Respect. I don't endorse murder, but if it you know. My next YouTuber on the list is Ryan Higa. Man, isn't he such a nice, sweet guy? I watched every single Ryan Higa video when I was a kid, man. They're so funny. What I respect about him is that he never changed up. He never started selling out for ads. He just stuck to his craft and stuck to making skits the way he wanted to. And I think you can tell in his work that he was doing this because he loved it, not for the money, not for the fame. He did it because he loved it. And he kind of retired on his own terms. I know he still makes videos, but not the way he used to. And I respect that he didn't sell out or whatever. He just did what he wanted to and then, you know, chilled out. Respect. I think I'm up to 10 maybe. My last person on this list is Yuri Lowenthal, the voice actor for Spider-Man and other characters. A while ago, I saw him speak up against the ICE raids when ICE was killing people in the streets. I don't know, they're probably still doing that, I don't know. Yeah, Yuri spoke out against that. Spider-Man would do that too. He is acting like Spider-Man in real life. If Spider-Man was a real person, he would have stopped ICE. And Yuri speaking out against them is exactly what Spider-Man would do. So shout out to Yuri. You're living your character. You're not just LARPing as Spider-Man. You actually agree with his beliefs and you stand up for what you believe in. So big respect to Yuri. I think that was 10, hopefully. Okay, that's all. See ya.